Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Age 40 Years. My name is Greg. As always, I please ask you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment on the video. I've gotten a few comments lately that have asked me to do more blinds. So, sorry, stuff blowing around in the background. So I'm gonna get a blind in here for you. Now, I had mentioned that I'm gonna do this blind on a previous video. So I reviewed the Costco signature. It's right here. It's the Costco small batch Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. It's a Kirkland signature, made by 1792. But that got me thinking, all right, if I'm gonna buy that bottle and review it, why don't we put it in a blind with 4 other 1792 products? So I don't have the 1792 small batch, which I feel like the Kirkland is kind of the substitute for. But I do have a bottled and bond. I have a single barrel. I have a sweet wheat, and I have a full proof. Now, I do want to mention, and this is, I think, worth noting, although I don't think it, changes the results or anything, but 3 of these are store picks. I think that's important to know in case you're just buying the standard run-of-the-mill. The bottled and bond is a store pick, the single barrel is a store pick, and the full proof is a store pick. Now, why I don't think that really matters is I feel that 1792 is so accessible in the store pick world. My favorite version of the bottle and bond has been the 1792 bottle and bond, has been the store picks that I find. So when a store has a bottle and bond store pick, I generally pick it up. Same with the full proof. I find that one is a great store pick. The single barrel, I haven't had enough of them to be able to tell you. And then I just randomly walked in on a sweet wheat. I've only had this once before, so I'm not sure how it's gonna do. I don't know if I'll be able to pick out the profile, but here's the deal. I feel like 1792 is super underrated. I obviously have 4 of them on my shelf. I'd like to have the 12 here. I've only tried that at a bar once, but I've not actually had it. For me to have set 4 of one brand is a lot. I don't generally do that. The only other one I think I have right now is E.H. Taylor and Penelope. And when I say 4 of one brand, like I have a few Stags up there, you might be able to see them. But they're all Stag, right? They're different batches and all that. They're just not different expressions. These are all different expressions. Again, bottled and bond, single barrel, sweet wheat, and full proof. So we're gonna throw them in a blind and see how they do. My wife has put this together for me. Hopefully I got them in order. A, B, C, D, and I don't have an E clip. These are, of course, SLB's clips. They have E and F. I guess I need to get those or make my own. But instead, in this last one, I have maybe you can see that Heaven Hill Glencairn that I got in a gift set last year around Christmas time. So we're gonna run through them, we're gonna score them, and then rank them and see how we do. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started with A. Love doing these blinds. This is a fun one for me. I've had these 1792s kind of sitting around. They're all at varying levels of fullness. I just opened the sweet wheat, so it might need to open up a little bit. We'll see. The bottle and bond that I have is a recent purchase because I drank the other one. I love 1792 bottle and bond. The full proof's about 40% full, and single barrel is probably 60% full. So we've got like all levels of bottle fill. And then the Kirkland small batch is a recent purchase, although it has been open for about a week. So we'll see what we get. We'll start with A on the nose. Now I think while doing this, I'm gonna try and predict them just to see how big of an idiot I am. And right on the nose, I'm gonna tell you, this has gotta be the sweet wheat. It just smells sweet. Smells soft. Of course, once I go through these, I reserve the right to change my opinion, but it's pretty standard 1792 profile. Color is a little light. In fact, there's only one of these. D, I noticed when I was moving these in here, D is really dark. And when I look at them sitting over there, none of them look that dark. So I don't know what's going on in D, but D is considerably darker than the others, but the bottles all look the same level of darkness, so I'm not real sure what's going on there. But A, that's a really nice nose. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a taste. Man, that's good. Graham crackery, like a graham cracker taste in there. You get that like standard kind of, to me, so I think that 1792 and Jim Beam are very similar in the fact that they have like a peanutty, dusty peanut profile. That being said, I really like the dusty peanut profile of 1792 a lot better than the Jim Beam one. And this has that, but it's also nice and a real nice like graham crackery sweet taste. I think that's great. Yeah, okay, that one's quite good. Good start. I'm gonna try and write soft. I tend to bounce the camera when I write because I'm on a standing desk is what I'm on. It's not a bar top. A little behind the scenes action. But maybe I just write in my hand. That's probably a better idea. Okay. That's a good start right there. Well, feeling pretty good about this blind. Again, this is a fun one. I buy enough 1792, but I don't, for whatever reason, it just doesn't get, in my mind, I never really think of it as that great whiskey, when the reality is it over and over just delivers. And I think people sleep on it too much, and it's so readily available. Let's go to the next one. B. Ooh, B is richer. Almost has a, none of these are twice barreled, but it almost has a Jack Daniel's Heritage barrel, the blue label one. It almost has that profile to it. But that doesn't make sense unless this is the sweet wheat. Now I'm just gonna say all of them are the sweet wheat. Really nice nose on this one. Almost smells like a twice barreled product. A little bit of that nail polishy smell, but in a good way. Is that, I grew up with sisters, still have them. I mean, it's not like I got rid of them. Okay. Now that I've had two, I do think that one is the sweet wheat more than the first one. That one is mellow. It is sweet, still on the finish it has that 1792 flavor. But that one's a really interesting pour. And I feel like that one's kind of complex in the sense that it has some flavors in there that I don't normally associate with 1792. I don't know, on the second taste it does. Boy, this is gonna be tough. This is gonna be really tough. If that's the sweet wheat, though, I think that one's got a little proof to it. I bet that one's the full proof. But I would have guessed the darker one's the full proof. I don't know. We're just gonna stick with sweet wheat here. Sweet wheat. And the sweet wheat proof is the lowest of them all. So I feel like this one's a little proofy. Maybe I'm gonna peg this one as the bottle in the bond. I don't know. Sweet wheat is the lowest proof, other than the Kirkland small batch. So nice flavors in there, though. I mean, just real elegant pour. It just good mouthfeel, good viscosity. That one's good. That one's really good. All right, moving right along to the letter C. Almost said number C. That wouldn't be correct. Hope everybody's having a great day. I certainly am. Drinking some whiskey. Gonna probably relax on the couch afterwards. It's tough out here. How's everybody? We like to talk about weather out here. How's everybody's weather? Saw there's some crazy storms in the Midwest. South Carolina, we need some rain bad. It pretended it was gonna rain. It didn't really rain. C. Now this nose, okay, I've never picked this out, but right on the nose, I just get like an apricot, cherry. This is a super fruit nose. That is crazy. That's good. That was an excellent nose, but totally different than these two. We are off to an awesome start on these first three. Oh yeah, that's a wildly different pour. That's fruity. It's not even like caramely. I don't even know what the other flavor would be. But it has some sort of richness to it, but it's not caramel. It's not butterscotch. It's just I have to go back in for that. What is that? Like it's like somebody toasted a Reese's peanut butter cup. That is wild. Fruity on the front end. Now, I think this one's a little bit more proofy. This one is definitely proofy. Or at least it feels like it. I smell that again. Yeah, it's just fruit forward. That's so weird. What a departure from what we'd already tried. All right. Now this one, color, darker. If I had to guess, my guess would be foolproof just because it's a higher proof point than the others. But a single barrel could easily also be, I mean, we're not talking like dramatically higher. The foolproof is 62.5. Okay, it is a good bit. 62.5 for the foolproof, 50 for the bottle and bond, 49.3 for the single barrel, and 45.6 for the sweet wheat. So if this is the foolproof, we're gonna feel it. Oh God, that's rich too. Man, that one reminds me a lot of B. That's exquisite. That is exceptional. I can't believe I just said exquisite on my channel. That's so weird. This just brought it out of me. That is great. Rich, classic vanilla, just like proofy vanilla. Wonderful. Let's try it. Okay, the palate's a bit of a letdown. I'm gonna try a little bit more water. That palate's a little bit of a letdown. Maybe I got it too far into the nose. That palate's kind of boring. This is a total wine pick. Well, I say that, sorry. I don't know that it's a total wine pick. If it is the foolproof, it is a total wine pick. Now everybody's gonna think that I've rigged this. For the record, I have not. Going based purely on color. I don't think it's as proofy though as I would have guessed it to be. This is where looking at color can get you in trouble. That one's kind of sour. That's a interesting profile there. Great nose though. Gosh, great nose. It's kind of like a soury, like a Granny Smith apple sour peanut. Sour peanut, I'm gonna write down. Interesting. Okay, well, maybe it's not the foolproof because it doesn't seem that proofy. I always say proofy. I don't think that's a word. All right, we're on to the non-labeled Heaven Hill Blasphemy, 1792 in a Heaven Hill glass. We don't care around here. We don't care. Oh, fun note. In 2 months, let's see. It's the 26th. Now you know, behind the curtain. Filming this on April 26th. This will come out probably in May, early May. But a little under 2 months, me and some friends are going to Kentucky, doing a bourbon tour and playing golf. So that should be fun. We're gonna hit Heaven Hill. We're gonna go to a little craft whiskey distillery called Whiskey Thief. And then we're gonna go to the Motherlode, Buffalo Trace, and just kind of see what's going on there as far as their allocations in their store. But a lot of the guys that are going haven't been on bourbon tours, so it should be fun. Last one, also a good nose. See, I filmed, you're gonna see it. Oh, sorry, there's little fruit flies. You're gonna see it beforehand. I did a Kirkland review, or a review of the Kirkland small batch. You'll see that on my channel first, but I filmed it right before this, so no secret there. I'm wearing the same sweatshirt, same day. That being said, I thought I'd be able to easily pick that one out, especially having just tried it. So far, no such luck. Although if I had to estimate that one was, that would be it. It's just, there's not a lot there. If that is the Kirkland, I would say that, you know, if that is the Kirkland, great profile, watch my review, it's a great whiskey. What I will say though is more specifically is if that is not the Kirkland, that is disappointing for whatever is in there. If that were to be like the sweet wheat, that would be pretty surprising, pretty disappointing. But, you know, there's not a lot going on there. It's kind of meh, but, you know, it is what it is. So I did score that one in last place. So that's what we'll kick off with as we do our grand reveal, is the glass that's the open glass is the one that I put last. I mean, it's a standard bourbon. It's fine, but nothing super special. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and move forward with our reveal. Well, you know what? Real quick, let's do a quick. I've got a couple that are very close. So let's go back to those, maybe in a little bit of reverse order. I do want to try B again. Let's cleanse the palate with a little water. I had this very close at the top. So the top three I had really close. The bottom two I kind of had pretty definitively the bottom two. Now that one was the one I was convinced was a sweet wheat. Not convinced of that anymore, but that one's really good. Really enjoyed that one. C was the one that had the really fruity nose. Yeah, good nose. Man, that's a great nose. Palate's quite good too. And then A. Make sure we're giving them all a fair shake. I like to do this, you know, again, these two are in my bottom two, obviously. I'm not going back to them. But I like to make sure that I'm giving, you know, working back through them, even though I went B, C, A. Just kind of mix it up, see if there's anything that changes. And as of right now, there is going to be a change. Man, that's good too. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and real quickly write down which one is number one. All right. Let's do our reveal. So we're going to put them here. I do a 0.7 camera angle, so when I do this, it makes my arm look super long, like Stretch Armstrong, so I apologize for that. All right, I have the notes in here. If you think that I was cheating because I kept referring to D as foolproof, we'll see if I was right. Had not looked at this, my wife made this for me. So, in last place, we have, wow, oh my gosh, no way. Okay, a stunner from the beginning. So last place I had as the open glass. Remember the Heaven Hill glass? And ladies and gentlemen, that is the 1792 Sweet Wheat. Hard to find, people covet this. I've only ever had it one time before. That is a stunner to start this off. So I had that pegged as the Kirkland. That was my guess. That is a hell of a way to start a blind. All right, well, listen, I just thought it was kind of empty. There wasn't a whole lot there. Let's go ahead and go back to it and see what we think. I stand by it. I mean, I love wheated whiskey. That's just, there's nothing really exceptional to that in my opinion. I think it's fine. but I wouldn't search out secondary for that. That's crazy. I can't believe that I just finished in last. All right, in fourth place I had D. D was the foolproof. Okay, so I was right, and you can accuse me of cheating. I was not, but this is a Total Wine store pick. I will say, and maybe this is unfair to Foolproof, I do not love whoever's making these picks at Total Wine. I don't think it's their best effort all the time, and I really don't know where they're getting them from, but sorry, I'm just using my watch to make sure I'm lined up on here. I just don't think that it's great. Whoever's picking them, I don't think is doing an excellent job. But listen, Foolproof generally is pretty good. So in the grand scheme of things, it lost to Kirkland. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, in third place is the, oh my God, what is going on here? What is going on here? Third place is my baby, the Bottle & Bond. How is it possible? Third place, B, this was a late switch. So I had this one as number 1. When we went back to them, I moved it to third. Which means that we have Single Barrel and Kirkland Small Batch as 1 and 2. And I did write down Bottle & Bond on this one, so I got that right. But you know, it is generally my favorite. It's good, but that's crazy. I can't believe that just happened. Anyway, wow. A little speechless that this is our bottom 3 for 1792. A little speechless in that. Okay, we're gonna keep moving. Our second place. Now, originally, before the revisit, like I said, I like to get A involved and let's see what it does. Before the revisit, I had A in third. I moved A up to second. So Bottle & Bond and A swap places here in this last revisit. And I'll be damned if it's not Kirkland Small Batch. That is a shocker. Kirkland Small Batch just took second place in a 1792 tasting for me. Let's revisit A again one time. Let's see what we think. That thing damn near won it at $20 a bottle. I mean, I would have never picked this out as small batch when I originally tasted it, and I just did a review of it. That's crazy. Shout out to the Kirkland Small Batch. Which means that, I also want to mention our Bottle & Bond is a barrel proof, store pick, from J&F Bar Supplies. It's a store in West Columbia, South Carolina. They get a lot of stuff in, do a lot of store picks. They do a good job over there, but that is also a store pick, which means our winner is a Southern Beverage Outlet, another store in South Carolina, Fort Mill. They claim to be the second largest store in the world. And if you ask them why, they'll tell you, but I'm not gonna tell you. You can go and ask them. They're in Fort Mill. Great people. They do a really fun thing where if you buy a gift card, you can go into their vault, pick something out. You have limited time to do it. That being said, their store pick of Single Barrel won the blind. So C was, now here's the funny thing is, Bottle & Bond actually was in first before the revisit. This was in second, this was in third, fourth, fifth. So these didn't move. These all did a shuffle, where Single Barrel went from second to first. This one went from third to second, and this one went from first to third. That's crazy. The revisit, man. It's always the revisit. Let's go ahead and try, let's see, that one was the C. Let's go ahead and go back and visit that one. I have very little left of this one. This one was the one I said was fruity. Let's read what it says. In order to create this unique bourbon, the finest barrels are selected and tasted from the best aging warehouses. Only those barrels deemed exceptional are then bottled individually one by one. This preserves the distinct character of each barrel. This superior bourbon has flavors of rich butterscotch and caramel notes, delicately balanced with hints of fruit, nailed it, and toffee. yeah, I mean, get out of town with that. But listen, honestly, everything up here was great. Were they all perfect? Absolutely not. Was I surprised that this was last? 100%. Was I surprised that this landed here? Oh God, yeah. But get out and try some 1792s. Try their store picks. They do a great store pick program. Lots of options. Get out and try them. Great product. Again, I have quite a few of them, as you can tell. Plus this little Kirkland guy. Get out, see what you think. The way I would start though is I would get this one first, the bottle and bond. Of course, get this one if it's available at your local Costco. I'd get the bottle and bond first, and then I would get single barrel or full proof. I think that the single barrel is a little bit harder to find sometimes. The full proof is pretty readily available on most stores. This one, very hard to find, finished last. Maybe don't worry about that one. But try and find these. I would maybe skip the 1792 small batch itself. Although if it punches in the same way as this Kirkland small batch, honestly, you should just try and find that one if you can, because the price point's so good. But listen, with that, we're gonna go, I don't have all these still available, so we're gonna let's grab the sweet wheat, just because we're so disappointed in them. I can't believe you, buddy. But with that, I would, of course, remind you to please drink responsibly, and as always, cheers.